Welcome back, everybody. My name is Nile Samir. I am super excited today to share an amazing guest that I have on today. His name is Samir Vogan. He is one of the top producing junior agents on the Lundgren team. That is my team here at Serhant, and I'm super excited to welcome him. And you guys get an amazing blessing. You get to listen to Samir and hear his amazing story about how he came to New York City not too long ago, only 4 years ago, and has quickly become one of the top brokers in New York City. Before we get to that, if you wouldn't mind, take a 1 second, please, and just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that notification bell. If you mash that, that will let you know exactly when I drop new, fresh pieces of content every single time. So please do that. It means the world to me. If you have any questions during this podcast, feel free to make comments in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So here we are. We have Samir Vogan. I'm super excited to welcome Samir to the show today. Samir, welcome.
Appreciate you. Thanks for the intro there. I see myself as a top broker in New York City, so of course.
Yeah, you've been literally crushing it this year, and I figured it'd be an excellent time to just get together and chat a little bit. You've had a pretty long career in real estate. You were in real estate before you got to New York City. So just talk to me a little bit about like your real estate experience prior to being in New York City, and then we're going to talk about how you came to New York, how you found me, and then what it's been like being in the city since then.
Yeah, so I graduated college 2015. I kind of fell into real estate.
Okay.
I got an international business degree, and kind of a lot of the jobs that I was applying for out of school was business management, overseas, like working for a company and moving overseas. I applied with like Coca-Cola and was going to move to England and certain other, companies like that.
Cool.
But I had a lot of family stuff going on, and it just wasn't the right time. I'd been away 4 years for school, and then like to come home and then leave again and move over, overseas was kind of a lot. So, one of my best friends, her mom had a really successful real estate team in Kansas City, where I'm from, and she was like, "Samir, you'd be good at this." And everyone kind of always has like an interest or knows about real estate. It's kind of in that ether with the shows and who doesn't like scrolling on Instagram or Twitter or anything and looking at houses. But,
real estate porn.
Yeah, real estate porn, exactly. So, I got my license and just started, networking and doing all that. And
that was in Kansas City.
It was in Kansas City, and same time I was, coaching high school football, and I was a special education para and helper at the high school as well. So like supplementing kind of that income there.
Got it.
And then just getting started. So
what did you do? Brokerage there for what? 2 years?
Yeah.
Where you at?
2 years.
Keller Williams?
Keller Williams.
Okay.
Yep. In Overland Park. Yep. Shout out to the Johns family.
All right.
Great family, and great culture, and the Midwest a little bit different. Keller Williams are the king out there, and and just had a great culture, and I learned a lot. And there was kind of at my office, it's kind of like the top 3 brokers in like a 4-state area were there. So like I was able to see and learn really fast, at least like some high producing successful agents.
Yeah.
Different market than New York, but like still the savages, like they're about their business and still about it to this day, and guys that I still rely on to this day. So that kind of just training and being successful, and I was a young guy for mainly all the offices I've been in. I've been kind of one of the younger guys, right? I got into it at like 23, 24.
Yeah,
right.
Same year I started, 23 years.
Exactly. So when you first start, it's like a lot of older people on their second or third career maybe, or like successful people that have been in the business a long time.
Yep.
So like starting out and being on my own and just kind of figuring it out, I kind of relied on those type of guys. And
but what else did you rely on? You kind of had your feet in the ground in Kansas City, but then you were also listening to other things in New York. So we were relying on not only the people in your office, but then outside content to then educate yourself. What was that?
Yeah, well, I listened to you, and Vince Rocco and Good Morning New York.
So back in the day, about a number of years ago, I did about 5 years of podcasting with Vince Rocco. The show is called Good Morning New York, Real Estate with Vince Rocco. I was the first co-host with him, helped him kind of build out that entire podcast.
Mhm.
Turned out to be wildly successful, and we had real estate agents from around the world logging in. And when we did that, Samir happened to be one of those people that logged in, right? So you were listening to that. What kind of brought you to that podcast? You have a pretty interesting story about that.
Yeah, I mean, one, I had that international, business degree, so I was like always wanted to learn about other markets. And when you get into real estate,
Yeah.
right off the top, like if you're doing it the right way and meeting all different types of people, like your world gets large really fast, right? And how I found, well, specifically getting into meeting you, but I was reading, Fortune magazine and different things and learning about, at the time, the other company we worked for, Compass, and
Yep.
it was a newer, it was a newer thing. And obviously where I came from was like Keller Williams or, EXP or something like that. But like Urban Compass was a new thing. And so just reading about that and then obviously listening to the podcast and listening to Now Lundgren from Compass. And so I kind of equated those. And I obviously, I liked, your energy, high energy, and a lot of the things that you had to say on it. So from there, I guess, I followed you and a couple other brokers in the city. So
And we're gonna put this picture up right here, actually, but I'm gonna read it to you real quick. I made an Instagram post. Get this, I made an Instagram post. So Samir started listening to the podcast. Okay, interested from KC. He was watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, started following me on Instagram. I made a post. The date was what, 2018, something like that. So it was July 2018, and I wrote, "The streets of New York City have been my school for the past 10 years, and I'm eternally grateful to be a student." By the way, I'm a lifelong student, and I love sharing a lot of the knowledge that I have with other people. Specifically, Samir, it's been a pleasure sharing a lot of that with you. You've been an excellent student, and now I'm becoming a bit of a student because you're teaching me things now, which is always the goal when you are a teacher. So I said, "I'm now looking to hire a junior agent to pass along some of the knowledge I've collected as my biz at Compass continues to grow." So I was a solo agent for many years, doing really well for myself. Had a couple different opportunities. A new building came along. I was managing an 83 unit building, the Lewis Steel building. Let's pop it up right here. This is the Lewis Steel building right here. 83 units in prime Williamsburg. It's on North 4th between Wythe and Berry, right next to the Whole Foods, Equinox, Apple Store. Literally everything. Blue Bottle Coffee is in the building.
Yeah.
J. Crew, Dave Penure, Jack's wife Frida, you name it, Soul Cycle, Trader Joe's, all within a block away. And I had that project, and it was 83 units, and it was very time consuming because I had so many apartments to lease. When I first got there, I had like 40 vacant apartments. I did 35 deals in 90 days. Which was pretty amazing. And then I wrapped up the whole building all by myself, doing every showing, every lead, everything. And then all of a sudden I said, look, I want to share what I've learned with somebody. And I made that post. And it's funny, if you put it out there, if you actually put whatever you're looking to do out there, it's likely that it's going to come back to you. And it did in this case. And Samir was the only person that slid into my DMs that day. And you were like, "Yo, dude, I'll do anything. I'm moving to New York City anyway. I already have an apartment. Can I just link with you?" And I was like, "Well, that's awesome. I got a lead. This is fun."
Yeah.
Then you came, and I said, "All right, come to the Lewis Steel building." So you went to 76 North 4th Street in Brooklyn. We have like a leasing office and library down there. Toll's a developer, fucking great guy, sick building. And we're down there, and I said, "All right, this is the insides, this is the guts of the building." Okay, we had spreadsheets. The Lewis Steel building shed spreadsheet when the leases were up, free month renewal sheets, availability charts, past deals, metrics on current pricing, last pricing, price increases, price decreases. So it was a lot to digest at the beginning, but I just showed it to you within 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
dude, if you really want to fucking work in New York City with me, you got to do this. What did I ask you to do?"
You were like, yeah, I need you to to go to all our rival buildings, right?
So check out the competitors.
Yeah, check out the competitors.
Okay.
What do you think if they don't rent here? Where do you think they would go? Which is in real estate in general, you should always know
Yeah.
who
Your competition is.
who the competition is, and because buyers are going to ask, renters are going to ask, and
Yeah.
and it helps you speed up the process of learning the business and, get clients, because we'll always have listings or something else, but like you're meeting a direct, they don't like this specific project. Well, you should know 3 or 4 other projects that could work for them, right? So just like covering your basis at all grounds. But yeah, you tell me.
The thing that I was impressed by that is I did tell him to go preview about 30 different apartments over the course of 1 week. I wanted to see A, if he could do it, stamina, go look at that many places. B, if he wanted it, actually going and doing it every single day for no money. Because those little things right there will tell me a lot about future progress or potential of real estate agents. If I say, hey, go preview 30 buildings, and then it's like, why am I doing this? Well, this seems like a lot. I don't know. Well, obviously you're not committed, because we always say this, Samir, if we want to get somewhere and we want to like really make New York City, for example, our home, well, the easiest way to do that is to burn the fucking bridge, the boats. Burn the fucking boats. Because if you burn them, you can't go back. Right? We're not going back to where I came from. You're not going back to where you came from.
No.
We came to New York City to better ourselves, and we are 1,000% committed. So I admire that part of you, because you said, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to ask many questions. And, you're still working with me, and you're absolutely crushing it right now. So hats off to you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Even a year before I even reached out to you, like I had to make a year-long plan. I was like, I'm going to do this, and I made a year-long plan of, whether I flipped a couple homes, I did a couple things where I understood that, like, moving out here, yeah, you can always go back and do whatever, but like, no, this was my move. I put everything that I had into this, and I was willing to make it work, whether I ended up working with you or not, to be honest. But the fact that you reached out and I had just gotten there, like literally, I think I might have a post where I'd moved into my spot like 4 days before I saw your spot, your post. And I was like, shit, the stars are aligning, right? I was going to like work for some KW office in like Queens for a little bit because it was just the only connection I had. But yeah, I mean, you have to, and we're all still learning to this day, and I'm still a beginner and 3-4 years in. But there's a couple things that you literally just can't teach. You can't teach hard work, and you can't teach resolve when things, because things are gonna go south and not your way. Yeah. And how you handle those situations is pretty much everything. Because you can learn to be a better agent. You can, because a lot of that stuff comes with time. Every single transaction is different. Every single interaction with other people is different. And you learn throughout years and months in the business of how to deal with certain things and how to become, a better broker and not just, some secretary that's just passing information back and forth. You have to have the resolve to, and
stick with it to get it done, no matter how hard, how complicated, how beat up people emotions are involved. Get beat up over and over and over again, and like it.
That's the thing.
I think you like it a little bit. We're both a little bit masochists. We both played college football.
Yeah.
I like hiring athletes because athletes get it. Like, okay, I slept 3 hours last night. Just an FYI. Okay, yeah. I'm here now. I'm doing podcasts. I don't give a shit. Okay, my body says, oh, I'm tired. And then I say, because my brain is stronger than my body, says, get over it. Time to film a podcast. And that's a lot of what, I could see you've done. I mean, I remember one of your first days hosting an open house at the Lewis Steel Building. It was your birthday the night before. Maybe you had one too many drinks and you're kind of hungover. Why don't you tell everybody about that experience? Because this is one of my favorite stories. You getting literally, I would just give the example of this before you tell the story. I don't mean to stop for a second, but you ever heard of the analogy of trying to drink from a fire hydrant?
Yeah.
It's like, when you're like, trying to drink from it. So tell everybody what it was like drinking from a fire hydrant the first time you showed some New York City apartments at the Lewis Steel Building.
Oh my God. I mean, for one, it's an insanely awesome building in the heart of Williamsburg, and like a lot, like you can say it's awesome, and Nile could prep me. We're dealing with one of our new guys right now. Like I'm telling you, it's going to be insane. And like, yeah, sure, all right, whatever. And I mean, I'm not hungover. Like I'm privileged. I'm still drunk. I'm showing up, and there's like, I show up probably like 35 minutes before the open house, and there were already like 20 people waiting in the lobby before the open house even started. and they just attack you like hyenas.
How do you manage 20 people at once waiting in a lobby trying to see 1 or 2 apartments at once while you're probably still drunk? How do you even do that?
I mean, you kind of don't. You kind of roll with it.
Just go with it.
Just go with it, and just like you can't freak out and worry about a bunch of things like telling people a bunch of information and a bunch of like. You have the inventory and you see all of these people. So you're like, really all you have to do is just control the situation and say, hey, here's the apartment. Okay. I'm going to send everyone an application. Everyone's going to get a free shot. I'm going to take 4 to 5 people up at a time. And then, this is going to be over. And you just, when you talk like that, and, it was
matter of fact,
very, very matter of fact. And once again, probably I didn't know what I didn't know, so it was like, whatever. I probably could have done a lot better job in here's how you do this and this, that, and the other. But it's like, when
you like it, you send you the app.
Exactly, exactly. Sales is a little bit different, but like on a rental building like that, it's hot, it's popping. But yeah, dude, those 2 hours went by in a flash.
And I remember you calling me afterward, like, I don't know what just happened, but I saw 50 people in 2 hours and I'm hungover and drunk and I don't even know what's going on. Did I do good? I'm like, you probably rented at least all the apartments today.
Yeah, and we did. And that's kind of the best. Honestly, like any agent will say, you're loose and, maybe hung overnight because, we're all going out. We all have, clients and people that we need to see.
There's a lifestyle. Being a real estate agent, you're not at home on a Friday. You out.
But throughout the whole week, sometimes, text each other like literally beginning in bed at like 10:30 at night, a client will hit you up and be like, hey, I'm doing this right now. It's like, fuck, you hop up and put a suit on and you're out the door. And then you're waking up and you're showing at 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. every single Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
And if you're not making money. So it's like, what, like I'm not going to brunch. I'm not like hanging out. I take, during football season, I will take 3 hours and watch the Chiefs game. That's my break.
Hey,
every Sunday.
Respect that.
But other than that, dude, it's full go at all times.
Full lifestyle. Real estate is a full lifestyle situation. And, one of the things that, I think Samir 4 years ago, what you were able to see in me was how hard I was working to kind of punch into the luxury market. And in order to do that, oftentimes you really have to be super accessible like all the time. And if that person who you want to get in good graces with says, hey, I'm going to be going out in 30 minutes and it's already 11:30 at night and you have to be up at 9 a.m., that's a real decision you have to make. But just like I'm tired right now, I don't give a shit and I put a suit on and I go out and I meet that person because it's all about meeting people, right? Ryan Serhant talks about meeting 5 new people a day. So by doing that consistently over time, of course, I was a little tired, but I'll sleep when I'm dead. And Samir has taken that very seriously. And one of the things I admire is that no matter what, even if you're tired, even if you've worked for a month straight, 30 straight days, I've seen him work 6 months straight, not even stopping. Even in the event of that and working so much, when that comes up, what do you do?
Yeah, work,
no matter what, No, and that's what, and that's why you're on the fast track to success, man.
Well, I appreciate that, and honestly, I equate a lot of that to you, obviously, because and especially if any newer agents are listening to this or not, like you need to get partnered up with someone that kind of matches your style and what you're looking for in your life. Because there's now, to be honest, there's tons of different ways to sell real estate and do this business. But like, where we're at now and what we do is we are luxury real estate agents and brokers. And there's a certain way that you have to go about doing that. And the reason I've been with you for this long and the reason that, I've made it to even where I'm at now and still have a long way to go is because I had somebody that not only told me like what I need to be doing, but like showed me every single day how to do it.
Yeah.
And so like it was easy for me to just do those things. And now look, you have to have the resolve and you have to have the want to do it. But like I never had to question like, oh shit, is this what I should be doing? Is this what I should, because I saw it, from you. I was like, I mean, he's doing it and it's working out. So eventually it will work. You have to do it. So credit to you too. And it's the only way. Like, yes, I had the resolve, but also having a mentor and having a team lead and somebody that's, telling you what to do, but also doing it themselves, and you see the results, it's like, all right. Then at that point, if you're not doing it, like, it's all your fucking fault.
Yeah.
Like, there's no excuse not to do those things.
So my training style is a little different, I mean, some people talk about training and they say, oh, do this, oh, do that, right? But like a fundamental way that I've taken this business on is that I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm not personally doing myself. Okay. I will not tell you to do something that I'm not personally doing myself. I do that for a very specific reason because look, if I'm walking in and I show up into the office at noon every day and I'm like, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do this. I mean, that's not very productive. It's also pretty impolite, right? So the way that I do it is I say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing right now. Watch me do it and then see me fail and struggle. And through that process, you'll see me then overcome and then win. And now go do that. Right?
No,
it's like
100%.
It's like you've seen me make phone calls. I've seen you sit in the room making cold calls when you first started to expired listings or for sale by owners, and you were doing that, and you were literally just getting ran over. And then I remember you had one good call with a guy that was taking a helicopter from Manhattan to the Hamptons for the weekend. And then like everything changed because you had a guy with a $10 million listing that actually took you seriously. And the reason why he took you seriously, Samir, is because you made 1,000 phone calls and literally got smoked. And I could have stepped in at any moment and said, oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. But my style is like to let you fail and say, watch me do it. And then let you fail. And then through that process, you actually grow. You don't just stay the same and then, have Nile close the deal at the end. And, that has been the biggest transformation that I've seen, especially since, we were at Compass together for a number of years. And then we left and came to Serhant in April of 2021, right before Compass IPO'd. So I took a lot of risk in doing that.
Yep.
And, when you came over with me, because you were the only agent that came over with me, definitely exciting. Ryan Serhant, $1 million listing. He's all over the internet, guiding force for a lot of people in the industry, especially at your age bracket. So to come over is obviously very exciting. But, as we were making that transition, I just want you to tell people how serious I was taking it. Like this was an opportunity for me that I've been building for and waiting for many years. And I was like, now is the chance. You're either leveling up and you're going to the NFL right now, or you're going to stay in D3 college football.
Yeah.
So we're going to the NFL. This is the fucking Pro Bowl. And get ready. So what did that experience look like to you with me, obviously, being very much on you?
No, I mean, you trained me hard, for, 3 years before we moved over here. But it was like, all right, now, you got to a point, and we got to a point where all the training's good, everything else is okay. Like, but now we have to everything has to come together right now, or like decisions are gonna have to be made. It was like it was another stepping stone in your career, and for you to trust me to bring me along, it does take a lot. And you set the expectation that it is time to level up. We had to do certain things, and we couldn't. There was no room for anything we were doing before, and like we had to take those building blocks and how we approach business, but also just like take it to the next extreme. So you did a great job of prepping myself, and obviously you thought that I could do it. It's just it's serious business.
Yeah.
And I hope that we're doing just fine. But yeah, I mean, look, you have to. There's certain points in your career, like you can always, be the head sales guy, but then now if you're like the manager, it's like, oh, okay, are you ready for this? And then you're like, oh, you're a manager, and now they want to hire you as the CEO, the boss. Like, are you ready for something like that? Like, you can do your job, and it's okay to stay in certain lanes or stay in certain careers. God bless you, help you. But I moved here to be where we're at right now and get to the next level, using this platform, using Serhant, the company, and being here and knowing that this was the goal all along.
Yeah.
And so we kind of always had that expectation for ourselves. So it was time.
It was also just a matter of time, right? And then the opportunity came, and we capitalized on it. And one of the things that I'll say, I'm I'm very particular in my business style, okay, but it's effective. And one of the first days we were at Serhant, I remember we were at 155 Duane, which was the first Serhant house back in the day. If you know what that is, you are true OG Serhant, by the way. So we were back at there, and I said, "All right, Samir, come to the office. Let's take some pics." And I really wanted to make a very clear impression when coming to Serhant that we are dressed for success. We're wearing a suit and tie. And we're wearing dress shoes. And he came one day, and we were going to take pics together just for the IG or whatever. And you had what? Some brand new, fresh
like fresh, like ones. And I was getting compliments on my shoes all the way up and down the office.
Like in
the subway, everyone. I was looking fresh. I still,
He's still going to debate it. But
I'm still going to debate it.
But I'm going to tell you. But I'm going to tell you this, Samir. Samir showed up. Okay, in the previous firm we worked for, it was totally cool to wear a hoodie. Okay.
Yes.
And what I've known by watching Ryan on TV is that he always wears a suit and tie. So if you want to be in the new development game, you should probably be wearing a suit and tie every single day. And
sure.
I was wearing a suit and tie from the age of 23 to the age of 30 every single day. I don't care if it was midnight, 1 a.m., I'm wearing a fucking suit and tie. Then I got to this other company. I wore sweats and hoodies and all that stuff, and it was cool. So I said, as we make this new transition to level up, what I'm going to need you to do is be dialed in and wear dress shoes and because we want to act the part, right?
Mm-hmm.
You showed up in your ones, and what happened?
No, yeah, freaked out. We had a full on meeting after the fact.
I think I gave you a warning.
Yeah, I gave me a warning.
Because it wasn't wearing dress shoes,
and it was like very first day we started at the new company. I'm like, Jesus Christ! But I mean, look, I coming back to it, I understood Nile, very particular and very set ways of doing certain things. And, when it was like, when we were at Compass and trained me to a certain way, and then he, let go of the leash a little bit and let me do my thing. But then when we joined Serhant, it was back to, training in the way that he wanted things done. And, 2 years into being,
To my credit? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. I mean, to his credit, if once he knows you got the program down and you're doing things how you want to do, then you back off a little bit and you relax and you let the reins off a little bit. Once you prove that you are somebody A, that can be relied on, B, that does business the way we do things, then from there it's like, okay, you've graduated a little bit. Now you're you can step back and kind of have your own style a little bit and do that. But we were coming to a new company and you had to vouch for me to come here, so you wanted things done your way. And at the end of the day, you respect that and you move on. And now, if I want to wear J's, I just make sure Niall's not at the office.
Hey, we're in town? You coming to the office?
Yeah.
No, I'm in Brooklyn today. Oh, okay.
Bet. Yeah, see ya. See you there.
But, it hits on a lot of really unique and different points here. I mean, I think, the fact of the matter is that you're a team player. You understand the larger vision. It's not about you wearing the J's.
No.
It's not like I care about you wearing J's on the street or not, but it's about setting the tone, right? Being somebody that says, "Hey, I'm gonna care about the way I dress because I care about the way I appear in a professional setting, and I care about making money and satisfying whatever needs that my clients may have." Right? So that's off to you to do for doing that. And what I did was I kept a pretty tight leash on you at the beginning of Serhant, but then about a year ago, we had an opportunity. Okay, and the opportunity was that most agents, when Serhant was in its infancy, most agents were gone. To be completely honest, they were gone, and a lot of them had new developments. And one of the biggest opportunities that Samir said to me is, he's like, "Yo, we got to make a vlog video. This vlog video has to be us getting the keys to the new development at this Huxley, where all these other agents are on it, but they're not there. So I feel like if we say, hey, Serhant, we'll take over the new development project during the Christmas and New Year holidays, we could also film content in there, and maybe it'll be good for the building." By doing that, and this was your idea to do this Christmas video, I think what we could do too is there's a link in the description here to the Christmas video. It's a Serhant video that we did about us taking over the Huxley, and it was all a dream. We didn't realize it.
It was like Home Alone style.
Home Alone style, yeah.
Parents are gone. We're here at the building.
Yeah, we're running around, going bananas. Hopefully, maybe we'll do a deal or two.
Yeah.
Fast forward 3 months from making that video.
Yeah.
And we win the project, right? So think about that. So we had the vision, we had an idea, we executed the idea, we made the vlog, we pumped it out, we dropped, every one of us on the team dropped the video on Christmas Day so that everybody had the opportunity to be entertained. And then not only did it catch the attention of some of the folks here at New Development, but the developers, and then we sat down with them, we pitched them in March, we took over the building in April, and then we sold about 35% of the building in May, June, July, August, September, October, and November. So about 8 months, we sold 35%, which is incredible. And at the beginning of the Huxley, I was pretty much with a very tight leash again. But then I quickly realized, because as I was mentioning to Ryan, as I was talking about how to build my team, he said, you build your team specifically based on geography. There's a new development project in the Upper East Side, for example, like the Huxley, and Samir lives on the Huxley. It's a great opportunity for him to be over there versus me, who live in Brooklyn, to kind of commute and all that jazz. So it was a great opportunity to say, hey, Samir, we got an opportunity for you, right? You took it. I had a pretty tight leash. I did the first couple of deals, and then I said, all right, this is the idea of what we're doing. These are the key things that I would say to the buyers. These are the strategies that I would use in order to get offers. Now you're going to just run it. I'll see you later. Let me know how it goes. And I'm here to support on anything, but it was your experience at the 83 units at the Lewis Steel Building in Brooklyn that then gave you the opportunity to be the lead agent at the Huxley. And tell me a little bit about that experience. I mean, you've absolutely crushed it. I mean, above and beyond. And I think, that just goes to show that, we've taught you a lot of good things, but you also have the will and determination to make it happen, even in a complex market. Like, the interest rates have been rising. All the people getting banged out at these interest rates are sub $1 million or sub 1.5 million. And every single one of our 71 units at the Huxley is exactly that. So when every other new dev isn't selling and we're selling at record pace in a declining market, that's got to tell you something. I mean, it's not like it's me per se who's doing it, but I would say it's me who has the vision, helps put the people and team in place, coupled with the fact that you know what you're doing. And then I say, now go run it, because here's the team, here's the systems, here's the playbook. And tell me a little bit about your experience doing that, because you've done a marvelous job, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I obviously appreciate you giving me the opportunity to run with that. But yeah, I don't know if you remember, like, literally the day we met with the developers and got the project, I think the interest rates doubled that week. So
2.5 to 5.
Yeah, 2.5 to 5 in that literally like a 4 or 5 day span. So that was interesting and fun to deal with that at the beginning. But it was, in our most expensive penthouse apartment, which we just sold. It was 1.4 million. So you're dealing with a lot of first time buyers and investor clients. And so having the Lewis Steel Building and having that experience with, okay, you have a lot of units right off the bat. We had our own systems and how we do things. Like, obviously, Kelly and the new development team are incredible, and they have a lot of great support and, certain ways that they do it. But it kind of mirrored what we were doing at the Lewis Steel Building already. So as far as processes were concerned, it allowed us to move fast with contract. Yeah, we have a contract out a week since, the beginning of summer. So, we're moving along still, even to this day. Now, look, it's in East Harlem. There's, other specific things to our benefit. Common charges are a little bit lower than some of the other new development.
Price per foot is incredible. By the way, if you were in the market for an investment property and you have cash, $500,000 gets you one of our studio apartments, number one.
Yep.
You rent those things between $300 and $3,200 a month. Insane cash flow. Great cash deals for investors.
Absolutely. Good plug there. Yep, the Huxley condos. Look us up. But yeah, and so from there, it was obviously living in the area is a big help. We put our sales office in there, and we had a whole team. But back to our roots and how we do things. Like, we're not just hosting open houses and leaving. Like, if somebody wants to come after hours, we're popping through there and doing that. A lot of walk-ins, we're taking walk-in. We wanted to make
Being
sure
on site
somebody's on site the whole time.
every single day. Somebody's on site. I don't care. I really don't care, because no one's making an appointment and then maybe showing up. I mean, maybe kind of. It's so much, but if you're there every day and you outfit the sales gallery as one of the 3-bed apartments, we made it into our own like sales office, and you just work out of there and you build your own team and ecosystem out of that environment.
Yeah.
What it does is allow somebody like Samir, who is in a more of a junior position working for me, right? As we both went up, he went from a junior position to a senior position literally overnight.
Yeah.
And you absolutely crushed it.
Yeah.
And still are, by the way.
Appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, like, for example, our last 2 deals that we're doing this week, both walk-ins. $1.3 million cash deal just off the street. And it was because, Samantha, who's done incredible job. I'm sure you'll have her in here at some point. She was at the building.
That's it.
She was at the building. The doorman had called me. I was 45 minutes away, but, basically that somebody just walked up to the building, and it was after hours. It was after the open house. Like, have the guy call me. Called him. I was like, look, I was like, yeah, I'm at lunch right now, but will you stick around the area? I'll be there in 45. He's like, yeah, stuck around. And I, shot my ass back up to, the East Harlem. Didn't necessarily want to do it, but like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Like, I had a lot of stuff going on. Like, we both do. We have a lot of other deals, but for 520K, studio, but we looked at developers in the eye and we were like, we're going to get this done.
Yeah.
And so
by any means necessary.
So by any means necessary means like, take your ass back up to the East Harlem and fucking show, a studio apartment at 4:30 on, Friday, when the open house, you were there all day and nobody came to the open house, but some walk-in is there.
Mm-hmm.
Just, on the happenstance that you'll do a deal.
It's the little things.
So that's pretty much it. If you do a lot of the little things the right way, and that's what I've seen from you, like, even at the very beginning of, working with you, just the first couple of years, like, you were slowly, meticulously, like, setting this up.
Grooming the systems.
Like, setting up this play. And now it's like, oh, shit, like, bam. And
here it is.
We're doing the things that we're doing now because of shit that we did in 2019 and 2020 when, everyone was gone and the world shut down. Like, this was all the plan. And now that, plan A of the plan is complete, now we're moving on, to plan B, plan C, and D, of the
takeover.
The takeover. It's happening because we're doing what the hell we say we're going to do.
Absolutely.
For any of your clients out there, anyone listening to this, if you say you're going to do something, just fucking do it. Just do it. And trust me, people are watching and people see. And so, like, the rest of the stuff will work itself out. How to do a specific deal, how to do this, how to do that, who to market to, what to, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Like, it will work itself out as long as you're, like, meeting new people and figuring out, what type of client or who your avatar is. Remember, we learned that. We took that class. We took some, like, econ class during COVID, where we'd, like, get on Zooms and we both looked like shit and we would just, like, take this class during COVID. But it worked. Like, it was like, oh, okay, who's your avatar? Like, if you were
ideal customer, like, make an avatar.
Yeah. It was like, I think the example was like, if you were selling protein shakes, like, who would you sell to?
Yeah.
But then, like, you can take that and with anything, with real estate, it's like, okay, if you're a real estate agent, who would you sell to? And, like, we took this class, and then next thing you know, we joined Serhant, and then, the sell, like, Serhant course, and, like, chapter, like, 1.2 is, who would you sell to? It's like, yeah, like, oh, it makes sense. Like,
and then find that target. Attack that demographic, because being a real estate agent, you can't apply or appeal to every single person.
No.
Right? You got to find out, who do I like working with? Maybe you like working with lower price points and they're just cooler people. Or maybe you like higher price points, super luxury, and they're just cooler people. Whatever floats your boat, go for that. But we at least made targets and said, hey, this is the ideal base or customer that I would like to be doing. This is the ideal deal size I would be like to be doing. So by making it concrete, writing it down, having a vision, then by doing that, your brain is aligned to find things that you come across and then say, oh, right here, well, you want to do this. Look, this is in your way. You can ignore it, but if you're aware of it, then you say, oh, here it is. Let's use that opportunity right now. And that's how you score a lot of successes one by one.
That's it. Podcast over. No.
Yeah, no. Well, we've been doing this for a while, actually. This is a great episode, Supernatural. What I'd like to do right now is actually give you a little gift. This is so we have the Lundgren team logo, as you can see. It's in this here. It's in this QR code, and the L team looks just like a lightning bolt. And because Samir has literally been crushing it this entire year, I wanted to give him that hat.
Let's go.
I also got the same hat too because hey, lightning, baby.
All right. How's that look? Damn, I kind of have a big head,
I got the tag on.
I think it'll work. All right.
Still got the tag on. How you look?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Lundgren team. It's a little swag here. It's not official. It's not official Lundgren team merch, which you can get from the merch shop on a website that is not made yet, but I'll make it tonight. I fucking make websites in like an hour. I'm like, oh, you guys not going to make a website? Well, I'll fucking bang it out in 2 hours. Yeah. Here it is. And everyone's like, wait, is that a new website? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I just made it. I blacked out. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, but yeah, it works. Come from out of nowhere, strike hard, strike fast, and then bounce.
Dazed and confused. Stun and confused.
These are dope. I'm going to Mexico tomorrow, so I'll rock this on the beach.
Sweet. Where you going?
Cabo. Never been yet, but going, we're going to do a little golfing, a little fishing, a little drinking.
Great place to go fishing.
Yeah.
Great place to go fishing.
But then, 3-4 days.
Hit some jet skis over there, too. I was kidnapped in Cabo one time.
Story for another day. But
yeah. If the federales ask you to get in a van, don't do it. FYI.
Yeah.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, so, I do vacation a little bit differently, but, yeah. But yeah, for 3 or 4 days, and then, we're back at it.
Awesome.
We're going to be here, working during the holidays, at all times, in all neighborhoods, in all price points, in all markets. We're coming.
Miami's next. All right, listen, I just want to thank you guys so much for checking out the Broker That Never Sleeps podcast. We had Samir Vogan on today. He is one of the top agents at Serhant, one of my best friends and somebody that I consider a brother. I love you, man. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for coming on to the podcast today. As I always say, hit that subscribe button so you know what's really good, and mash that notification bell if you wouldn't mind, because you're going to get notified of all of the videos that I'll be dropping on YouTube. So thank you so much. Really appreciate you, and we'll check you next time. Thanks so much.
Peace.